Joining us now is University of Adelaide Law Professor Dr. Joanna Howe, an anti-abortion campaigner who's been banned from parts of South Australia's Parliament. Joanna, always great to see you again here on Outsiders. Can't believe this one. They've banned you. They've cancelled you. Explain what happened, please, Joanna.
Look, I'm still in shock over it, and it still is a mystery, to be honest, Rowan, because they have not given any good reason for banning me from the SA Parliament. In fact, everything they have said has been proven in the following week to be an absolute lie. So let me take you through what happened. It was a left-wing lynch mob of pro-abortion MPs in the Parliament who put Terry Stevens, who is a Labor appointment to the President's chair, to ban me from the Parliament. And what they said was that I made MPs feel unsafe on the night of the live births bill vote. And I know, it's unbelievable. These people are paid $215,000 a year. And apparently they felt unsafe because I had two conversations with two MPs who had said that they were voting for the live births bill. I found out on the night of the vote that pro-abortion MPs had pressured them to pair, which would have meant that the bill could not get through to committee stage. It would have neutralised the power of their vote. So, of course, as one of the key campaigners and advocates and drafters for this bill, I went up to those two MPs and I said to them, if you vote for this bill, if you choose to pair, that will neutralise the power of your vote. I have 120,000 followers on social media and on my email database, and I will hold you to account. I will tell people and I will explain what you did, and that will have ramifications for you at the next election. Now, that's democracy, isn't it, Rowan? You would think that that's part of the normal lobbying process, but that is the reason I have been banned from the South Australian Parliament, because MPs felt threatened and intimidated. All of these claims that they made, that I made them feel unsafe, that I apparently yelled during the moment that the vote was happening, which the footage that I've shown on my Instagram and on X this week clearly shows I did not yell. In fact, I was yelled at by the pro-abortion Labor whip, who aggressively turned to me and yelled at me. And so, you know, it's unbelievable how they've fabricated this case against me without any procedural fairness, based on anonymous complaints, no opportunity for me to respond, an arbitrary lifetime ban announced in the Parliament. And, you know, this is the people's house. And what I would say to the Australian people is, if this can happen to me because I dared voice an opinion against the establishment on late-term abortion, it can happen to you. A member of the public should not be banned from the people's house without procedural or substantive fairness. It should never, ever happen.
Well, Joanna, I hope your retort to these individuals saying they felt unsafe in your presence was to say, well, now you might know how those fetuses or those babies in the womb feel with your legislation hanging over their heads. Rita? Well,
not just that. We're talking about babies born alive, and I can't believe this is even a topic for discussion, that you could have a baby that survived a botched abortion and you're not going to give it any medical assistance, you're not going to give it any pain relief, you're just going to leave it until it passes away. That is inhuman. But, I mean, what about these snowflakes in the South Australian Parliament, Dr. Howe? I mean, you are a Rhodes Scholar, you're a professor, you're a mother of 5, you're a tiny petite thing. If they feel threatened by you, are they fit to be sitting in Parliament? Ours is an adversarial system. We're supposed to be there to debate and have robust discussion.
It was the ideas that terrified them.
It's almost saying they're unfit to be MPs.
Look, I agree, Rita. The reality of this is Australia has the most extreme abortion laws in the world. We do not have a legal right to protection to medical care for babies who survive their abortion. And, you know, courageous midwife whistleblower Louise Adsett shared in Parliament this year in Queensland to say how traumatic that is for the midwives. And, you know, I spoke to one of the midwives who was involved in one of the first late-term abortions in South Australia, the injection of potassium chloride into a baby's heart very late in pregnancy when they could just be induced alive. And she shared how painful it was and how traumatic it was for that group of midwives. This is extreme stuff. And, you know, the really crazy thing about this is that the two MPs I spoke to on the night, the first one, who has subsequently made a statement in Parliament saying she was blindsided by fear after our conversation, I took a selfie with her after we had our chat. She willingly got into a selfie with me where she is smiling, and then she sends me a text message after our conversation to say, thank you for seizing the moment to speak to me in the dinner break. And that's the MP that the left-wing lynch mob somehow pressured to stand up in the parliament and say that she was bullied. The second MP who I spoke to on the night, Sarah Game, she has come out strongly and said, I was pressured for 2 weeks by people behind the scenes trying to make me say that Dr. Joanna Howe bullied me. And she has come out on my own YouTube channel to say, that did not happen. I'm grateful for the conversation. So this is a complete stitch up because they want to silence my voice.
OK, well, we're not going to silence your voice. You're here on Outsiders. Thanks so much, Dr. Joanna Howe. Always great to hear from you and to speak to you. Lots more coming up in a tick.